Alex Behunin with MMA Mania, and I'm here with Josh Silveira, who returns to action on April 1st. Josh, how are you?
Good, brother. Good. All is well. Training hard.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. I'm very happy to talk with you again, man. Less than a month out, man. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I've been working at it, even pre-camp. Before this camp, I've been working a lot, and since my last loss, I've had a lot of time to think, a lot of time to recover, and a lot of time to get back at it, and still have time to get ready for this fight. So um, I'm just excited, man. I'm excited that I get to be part of a special tournament. Um, I'm excited that I get to compete, and on top of it all, I'm excited that I get to fight for a million again. Obviously, so it's been pretty good, pretty blessed life.
I wanted to go back to your last fight. I always find it fascinating how professional athletes deal with their first professional loss. And I know you've dealt with losses in wrestling, right? But dealing with losses in MMA are a little bit different. So, what were the emotions like?
Um, it was a little bit of all mixed sort of things. Obviously, I'm fighting my teammate. Um, that was a factor into it. It was I think it was everything that happened fast. I'm not really a guy looking for excuses too much, but maybe things happen too fast, too quick for me. I know that sounds cliche, but I learned from it. I could have learned many other brutal ways where I've seen guys get too quick to a situation or too fast to the top, and then they learn the hard way. I think it was a interesting fight. I go back, obviously every time I look back at it, I could digest it a little bit better. It's just hard watching yourself lose, but it's part of the game, man. It's a fight. We're not playing like video games where it's not that big of a deal. But it's one of those things where it hurts a little bit, but I think that's the part that makes a fighter, is dealing with these little barriers and accepting the loss, being in the dumps. But the ultimate part is, picking yourself back up, So I wasn't too low in the lows for too long, As my dad would tell me, don't cry for too long. It's not gonna do much, you know. And it's right, complaining, crying is not gonna do much. Not, I could really accept what's going on and try to see what I could do to make it better, And I think that's the whole. I think that just the aspect of life it's supposed to be um a growing part in general. You know what I mean? Losing, soul searching, and building off of that. So yeah, I'm excited for this up season.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. Fighting a teammate, I know that that was tough. That was a big storyline going into the fight. So while you were in there, man, like what was going on through your mind? Like, how much of a factor did that play into the fight?
I think there was a couple things, that played a factor in it. I think one, I was scared. I was scared about getting tired. Two, I think I was just telling myself, you know, I'm he knows I'm gonna wrestle. He knows I'm gonna wrestle. He knows I'm gonna, and obviously he does know. You know what I mean? But the thing is, I'm best when it doesn't matter what you know or what you don't know or what you've seen or what you don't see. And it's can you stop it? And I wasn't that Josh Silveira, that guy that just implements his game plan. You might stop it once, you might stop it twice, but are you okay with stopping it multiple times until you break down or whatever the case is? And I think the big difference is I was just scared to get tired. It was a big moment for me versus just being how I usually am, man. I'm not scared to get tired. I know how to I know how to fight a fast fight, or I know how to fight a long fight. I train with the best guys in the world. Whether it's my teammate or not, I don't know. I think I was just giving too much in a nice way, too much respect, I guess, to the situation. And I learned from it. It was a big lesson. I don't like it, but That's part of it, man. It's part of me now.
This might be silly, but like when you were fighting your teammate, like did it come to you, like come through your mind at all, like I don't want to hurt this guy, or was that not even part of the equation?
No, it was actually there was times where I did punch him where I kicked him in the belly, and I was asking myself, did that not hurt him enough? Did that not hurt? I look back at it and I saw him in the lobby. He had like a little, he already had a previous, like a nose broken, I think from his previous fight. His nose was kind of broken, but he had like a little shiner with his nose was munched up a little bit. And I saw him in the lobby. I was like, damn, I did that. I was like, I enjoyed seeing it. I'm not gonna lie, I did a little bit of that, but no, I didn't think that. If anything, I'm mad at myself for not punching harder, not going harder. It's part of the business.
Interesting, interesting. All right, well, that's in the past now. Let's get to the future. April 1st.
Yeah,
You're fighting Sam Kei. What do you think of the matchup?
I think it's a good matchup for me. I mean, any matchup I think is a good matchup for me. I'm typically the guy you got to work for, like strategize against me. Usually, I'm the guy that you strategize against me. I really don't have to strategize much against my opponents other than, big right hand, big head kicks, maybe some leg kicks right in the bottom that hurt, but I don't see that he throws much leg kicks. I could tell that he's I don't want to be disrespectful. Samoan, Polynesian. I'm not sure which one. I know if you call one guys or one or the other, they get upset about that. It's like calling somebody from Australia, New Zealand, or vice versa. They're like, yo. I'm like, well, I'm sorry. You guys are pretty far from me on the globe. I'm not too familiar. So so I know he has like that Mark Hunt style. The big overhand rights, big, uppercuts and 2 3s, 3 2s. But and he's a pretty large guy too. I know he fought heavyweight, so one thing that might benefit to me is that he'll have to cut weight. If he's dieting well, maybe it benefits him. Who knows? But I think I think if anyone's making game plans, it's him. Defending takedowns and doing a lot of cage work and things like that. Um, but we'll see what happens, man. I kick people in the head sometimes.
That you do. That you do. Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned that, man. His last few fights have been at heavyweight. He lost against Juan Adams last season. So, how much of a factor do you think that's going to play into this fight? Because it's no secret you do have a gas tank and you like to wrestle. So, like, is that kind of just as easy as it sounds? Just take this guy down and wear him out.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the PFL. I need the 6 points. 6 points to start the season off would be pretty good. Take some pressure off, so I don't have to deal with this pressure I dealt with last year after I hurt my shoulder and missed the first round. Going into the second round with 6 points in my pocket would be lovely. Like I said, in my mind against Hamlet, I wanted to take him down and choke him out. That was my intention. Things worked out different. You know, God always has this weird way of presenting plans to what you expect versus what's the reality of it. But yeah, man, my goal is to fight to fight with all intentions and not being scared to get tired. Whether I knock him out on the feet, I take him down TKO or choke him out. If it's not in the first round, I'm telling you, it'll be in the second round because I'm going to get the point. I need the points. You know what I mean? And I'm a gamer. I'm ready to. You can set the rules however you want. I'm a gamer. I'm not going to complain. If that's how the rules work, that's how the points work. That's how we got to play. You know what I mean? So let's get it.
All right. Well, you kind of, said a lot there. So let me just get a final one. At the end of the day, April 1st, PFL 1 2023. How do you get your hand raised?
Josh Silveira by let's just get a little exciting. That let's do a little. We'll go Josh Silveira um mounted triangle TKO. Let's get a little excited. Let's get a little excited. Now, if I don't come through with that, I'm sorry. But I'll maybe I might have something else for you guys. But
Oh,
if I get that mounted triangle and I TKO from the top, or an armbar or something, kind of what Dustin Poirier did back in the day. I think he did it to Max Holloway.
yeah,
Something like if I get something like that, if I get something like that, you better you I don't know, man. You owe me lunch or something.
absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Lunch on me. Lunch on me. Um, I did want to ask, last couple of questions. Another teammate is coming into the tournament, Thiago Santos. How do you feel about that?
Me and him probably worked out more than Omari and I did, so that's funny, right? We know we've talked about it, and not just him. Christoph Jocko is another teammate.
Right.
And me and him and I worked out a lot. We're one of the few southpaws in the gym, so whenever we have to fight a southpaw, we always look out for each other. Um, yeah, man, it is what it is, man. PFL is a growing organization. What can I be upset about? These guys. I would say that they left the UFC. Do they have a lot left in the gas tank? I don't know, but do they want to end with a bang? Do they want to put money in their pocket for their family and for their kids? Of course, I can't blame them for that. You know what I mean? So let if it happens, it happens, and if it does happens, I hope it happens in the finals. You know what I mean? So we could just enjoy it, man, and just be make history together.
How do you go at that conversation? So, because I've asked Sean Yeblin and I asked Austin Manafort, and they talked about like they just said like if we fight each other, like it's gonna be for the time. Like it's nothing personal. It's just a paycheck, man. Like we're
Yeah,
private fighters, and
that
it is what it is.
that's basically our same approach. Obviously, my dad likes to put it in a sense of we'll worry about that when that time comes, right? No reason to get our panties in a bunch for something that's haven't happened yet. You know what I mean? We have our own fights. He has a big fight coming up that night. I want to get a quick finish. I want to run back over there and just be there to an assistance, whether he needs my body to drill with or just to be around, just to show that I'm supportive of him. Same thing with Jocko too, and anyone else. If Omari comes back or Shoeface comes back, I would do the same. You know what I mean? Once I take, it's like when you're in the plane and the oxygen mask, you take care of yourself first, and then you know what I mean. Once I get my part done, I'm all in, man. I'm American Top Team first. So and I enjoy these guys. They're my friends. So whatever happens happens. But at the end of the day, no hard feelings. If anything, this makes our friendship even better. You know.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for sharing that again, man. And yeah, and that's kind of what I want to end on is what's your prediction in that main event, man? Thiago Santos is fighting last year's winner, Rob Wilkinson. What are your thoughts on that? And after that, just I want your thoughts on Rob Wilkinson. He's the man to beat. He's the man on top of it all. Just give me your thoughts on him.
Yeah, so of course I got my boy Tiago. I never count him out. I think he's one of the hardest hitting guys on the planet. Um, with proper training, with low injury happening, I think he could really give Rob a problem. And I think the PFL knows that because the PFL is doing something different this year. They're clashing these guys. They want to create drama, and I like it. I like the drama. I think Rob. I think he's great, but I think if you look in the aspects of last year, um he looked good. I mean, he looked good, or did the other guys just kind of like didn't look that great? You know what I mean? Now I thought the fight with Omari was just a bad matchup for Omari. And Omari's man, he's been around the game for a while. Maybe it was just a bad match. He's a little shorter than Rob, shorter arms. Rob had some good arm distance. Omari still threw some punches and caught him. If Thiago catches him, it's not like a little tag. You know what I mean? That guy has bricks in his hands, and his feet too. Leg kicks. I'm not. Don't count Thiago out. I think this is going to be an extremely tough fight for Rob. Um, if anything, we're going to see if he has a little bit of wrestling or something. You know. But yeah, I think he had a great season, man. I think the guys, if you go look at what the guy's been through, he's been through the trenches. He lost. He got kicked out of an organization, fired. I mean, took his time, came back and won a belt in another organization. It takes a lot of big cojones to do that stuff. You know what I mean? So hats off to Rob, but I think this year, um, tougher competition all the way around. You know what I mean? By the second round, man, the second round might be even more exciting. These guys, they're gonna see some real big, some good fights in the second round. Whether I'm fighting a teammate or Rob fights Jocko fights Thiago. Who knows, man? That's already that's pretty sick already. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see what goes on.
And there's Shoeface looming, right? Like he's a big brother right now, but he can come back with the force. And
He's an actor. You know what I mean? But he'll Hey, I love it right now, bro. Brazil is cheering him on like crazy. That thing is really big in Brazil.
uh,
Even my tough as my dad is, my dad's like, it looks like when you go to school, middle school in the morning when everyone's talking about the guy. Did you see what happened on TV the other day? You know what I mean? It's great. It's great. I don't watch it much, but I keep up with stuff online and stuff like that. Go
awesome.
Sapato. We're rooting you on, dude.
Awesome. Josh, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
For
If
sure.
you want to plug your social media, any sponsors, you want to thank anybody, the floor is yours.
Yeah, man. So I got two sponsors for this upcoming fight. So one of them is my boy Fabio. His the Toma energy, not energy drink. It's Toma. It's like yerba tea. It's called Toma, just like Toma. Yo, big shout out to them. They'll be on my shorts and shirt. Big shout out to my barber, right? Checkmate Barber, out in Fort Lauderdale. If you guys need to get a haircut downtown Fort Lauderdale, I got a guy. Really, look at this mullet. The mullet's been going at it right now. Wait until I got something for you guys on fight night with the mullet too. I'm gonna look like a barbarian out there, true
Woo!
barbarian. But shout out to those guys. Obviously, sponsors is one of those things where unless you're a big guy, a big name, you might get a lot of sponsors. But other than that, man, there's these little companies that believe in you. They believe in the story you told them. So big shout out to those guys. Shout out to American Top Team, always my home, my pride, my joy. I love going there. I love going to work every day. Um, and shout out to all the people around, man. You guys know who you are that been supporting me. We're getting little by little inches at a time. I still wake up every day and I can't believe that this is actually, my life. It's happening. Um, join the journey. If you want to wait a little longer and look, it's fine, but just don't be mad if you can't jump on the train later on. So, yeah, let's get it. April 1st, we started something good again.